After 8 years, the Kung Fu Panda franchise is back in theaters. Last night, I was able to take my family to go see it, so let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. Let me know what's your excitement level for Kung Fu Panda 4, and if you've seen it, what did you think about it? Now, I went into this movie pretty skeptical because I didn't feel like the trailers sold me on what the emotional hook was for the film. Of course, the franchise is always going to be fun and lively because you have a panda doing kung fu, always a great voice cast. But each of the first three films had a real clear emotional hook to it. Even the third one, which isn't quite as good as the first two, there's that hook of Po meeting his father, and the trailers didn't really sell me on what that was for this film. I wasn't particularly excited going into the film. So, did the movie turn out to be better than the trailers, or is this another franchise that really didn't need to come back? I'll let you know in just a second. Today's video is brought to you by Raycon. It's that time of the year where the sun has come back out, and everything is better with my Raycon everyday earbuds. Raycons offer amazing quality sound at half the price of other premium brands. Raycon's optimized gel tips are designed to fit comfortably in your ears to actually stay there, whether you're going for a jog or mowing your lawn. They've got 8 hours of playtime, 32 hours of battery life, so I don't have to worry about whether they're gonna die midday. They have 3 customizable sound profiles, so you can get the ideal sound whether listening to music or an audiobook or podcast. And then they have a sound isolation mode if I want to cancel out some of the noise around me, or they have an awareness mode so I can have nice full music in my ears but still be able to hear my kids and know if they're up to no good. The thing I really love about them is that they just like disappear into my ears and I kind of forget that they're there. Go to buyraycon.com/Sean Chandler today to get 20% off your Raycon order plus free shipping. That's right, you'll get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Sean Chandler. The link is down below in the description. Let's get started with the good. And as I mentioned in my introduction, my big hesitation going into the film is that I didn't feel like the trailer sold me on what the big emotional hook was for the film. And while I still believe that's true of the film, we'll get to that later on in this video, what I think I dramatically underestimated about this franchise is just how much fun the characters are and how much I enjoy just spending time in this world. Certain franchises just have a concept that's just kind of magnetic. It's fun to spend time with Po and all of his shenanigans. With the adventure that Po is on in this film, he gets to go into an actual city, and that opens a bunch of new opportunities for different types of characters to show up. And once again, they're fun. There's a Captain Fish character that lives in an interesting environment that I thought was just really fun the way they did that. But all along the way, you have just these like characters that have a little episode with him that tie back into the plot later on. And that is so much of what makes these movies very enjoyable is they've always done a great job of developing fun characters and then getting the right actors to voice them that just bring them to life. And right along those same lines, this franchise is known for having good villains, and we get another good villain in this film, in this Chameleon character that is interesting because she can shapeshift, but also because she's kind of ruling over this large city. It adds a different dynamic to things than what we've seen with the previous villains. And then with her specific objective, what she's trying to do, it opens a bunch of fun, exciting opportunities when you move into the final third of the film. Just fun, exciting stuff that pulls a lot of things together in an interesting way. And as always, these are comedies. There's plenty of just solid gags from beginning to end. Plenty of cool action sequences. In particular, the third act is able to do a bunch of really exciting things with where they go with this character and her powers and everything that goes along with that. But it just feels like with this movie, they know the formula. They know what audiences want, and they deliver a bunch of fun Kung Fu Panda stuff with this movie. You get lively, fun characters, you get action set pieces, you expand the lore just a little bit, you get a different type of villain, and little references to things from previous movies that just kind of tie things together in a fun and interesting way. And while I don't think that this movie has like a particularly strong emotional hook, it does have a journey that Poe is on. It does have a lesson that Poe is learning throughout the course of the film. And so it has something in that space for it. I think more important than what I thought about the film is what did my kids think about it. I was able to take my whole family to see the film, and all of my kids had a good time with it. Here's what they had to say.
So we just got out of the theater from watching Kung Fu Panda 4. Chloe, what'd you think about it?
I like the movie because with the new character, they had a few different ways where it could lead her, and they chose like the least expected one.
Did you like the movie?
Yes.
Did it make you smile?
Yes. And I also like that they had Poe change, but I think they changed him too much in it, and so that was kind of like taking away from it.
Did it make you laugh?
Yes.
Did it make you clap? Yeah.
Yes.
She's clapping in the middle of the theater and everything like that.
But I also like the jokes in it, and especially the proverbs.
So, you like the movie?
Yes.
Oh,
Liam, did you like the movie?
yeah,
That's all you have to say?
yeah.
Fair enough.
Liam really enjoyed the film. He just didn't have a whole lot that he actually wanted to say to a camera about it. Karis was just eating this whole movie up. The whole time she was going, just hopping up and down, clapping in the middle of the film. She legitimately was doing that. In fact, after the movie ended, my wife was like, I wish we could have put a little GoPro in front of her and just filmed her reactions. That would have been just as entertaining as the film itself. So for me, I thought it was a good Kung Fu Panda film that was entertaining based on the strengths essentially of the formula, which is the characters, action set piece, the world, villains that are good. That's a formula that works. And so this is a movie that worked, but it's not the strongest movie in the franchise. So let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. And the big thing here is the Awkwafina character. Now, Awkwafina is one of these actresses that has been cast in a zillion voice roles over the last several years. She kind of always has that same vibe, and kind of either you like it or you don't. For me, I generally speaking enjoy Awkwafina. But if you're going to bring back Kung Fu Panda after 8 years, do I want the person that was fresh and interesting 4 or 5 years ago, or do I want them to bring something new and different to it? And so it just kind of feels like the new character they throw into the mix that's a major part of this film and replacing something that a lot of you love, and we'll talk about that in just a second, is someone that isn't all that interesting to cast in this type of role. From there, let's move on to the bad. And the first thing you gotta talk about here, this is something I was worried about based off the trailers and something a bunch of you have asked me about since I posted that I saw the film last night. The Furious Five are not in this movie. They have a presence, they are acknowledged, there's a little bit related to them, but they are not characters in this movie. This group of people that were a major part of the previous 3 films, they're just gone and essentially replaced with Awkwafina. And I think that puts Awkwafina and her character in a bit of a tough position because you're removing beloved characters that some of you literally grew up watching these characters. They're off over there, and we introduce this other character, and I think that's a awfully big burden to put on a character's shoulders. I would guess that some of this is related to the story they wanted to tell with Poe and this Fox character, the Awkwafina character. There just wasn't enough for the Furious Five to do, and so they didn't want to have to pay all those actors to bring them back. The other thing that comes to mind here is that it just feels safe. It doesn't make any major missteps. There's nothing in this movie that I strongly disliked. But there also wasn't all that much in it that was like, oh, that was really cool, fresh and new. But it just kind of feels like more Kung Fu Panda stuff. It's another adventure. And because the characters are fun, the genre's fun, the formula, they figured out, it works, it's enjoyable. There's a little bit of like, yeah, we've been there, we've done that. This feels like it would be like a great several episodes of one of these Kung Fu Panda TV shows. But is it a great movie? No, it's a good movie. And I think another piece to that is, like I said before, that the lack of that emotional hook. And what really surprised me about the first two films is kind of how much emotional depth really was in there that I don't feel was present in this film. They have a character arc for Poe, have him learn a lesson, there's plenty of fun shenanigans, but it doesn't have that heart, that soul that really elevated the first two films. It's just another safe, enjoyable, good Kung Fu Panda film. Real quick before I give you my final thoughts on this one, join me down below in the comment section. Let me know your excitement for the film. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? Also, I have done a number of rankings of the DreamWorks projects. I ranked all the DreamWorks theatrical films a few years back. So if you're a big fan of DreamWorks, I highly encourage you to check out that video. And this weekend, I will be ranking the 4 Kung Fu Panda films. When you put it all together, I think that this is a good Kung Fu Panda film, but not a great Kung Fu Panda film. If you want a good time with your family at the theaters, this will deliver it for you. Just don't expect the best of the franchise. Overall, it's a B on the entertainment scale, a 7 out of 10, and it is worth seeing. If you're a big Kung Fu Panda fan, sure, rush out to go see it in the theaters. If you got a family with kids, it's a good one to take the whole family to. Remember, I've done a bunch of other DreamWorks videos, including that ranking of all the movies just a few years back. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.